Welcome everyone to another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews.
Giving you opinions about nerd stuff is our superpower.
I'm Captain Mal.
And I'm Weapon 2, folks. Welcome.
And today we're going to be bringing you an official movie review, but not any movie review. This is actually our first ever viewer requested.
You're kidding me.
I am not kidding you, sir.
Really?
We are getting that big. The problem, see, once you get north of 200 subscribers on YouTube, people start asking for shit, and we will give you everything you ask for within reason. Like,
Folks, we've gone fully interactive.
we are full interactive, and we are bringing you our official review for Superman Red Son. So, Superman Red Son is a DC animated universe adaptation of the graphic novel by the same name. And basically what this is about, it's an Elseworld story where instead of Superman's ship crash landing in Kansas City...
Where did it land?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Weapon 2. I'll let you know. Okay. It lands in Soviet Russia.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I am not kidding you at all.
Was this during the Cold War?
It might be during the Cold War. It's almost like you've seen this movie. Yeah, so this is an interesting twist and a take on the character. So, as always, we'll keep the first part of this review spoiler-free. Weapon 2, why don't you throw down a little bit about the plot and give your overall impressions of the movie?
I liked it. It was super interesting. It was refreshing because it was an entire different take than you could possibly take on the Superman character. You couldn't get like that as far different as this might have been. I liked one of the things that was weird to me was the voice actor would sometimes try to put on a really heavy Russian accent, and other times he would completely
It's
forgot.
like he forgot, yeah.
So that was weird, but...
He's like Halle Berry in X-Men 2, forgetting that she did an accent in the first movie. Not quite that bad, but... Yeah.
Or like Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey.
Yes, every other sentence she forgot.
So... But I liked it. I thought the story was really interesting. I thought the way that the world that as we know it in superheroes changed that much with Superman being on the side of the Soviets. So I thought it was interesting. I don't know how much we can really say
without spoilers,
before we start spoiling and start talking about it. I mean,
but you liked it though.
I liked it. And
you recommend people
how
watch
I'm
it.
About animation. I'm not a big fan of animation.
I thought it was pretty good. I was concerned about this, but I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it. I'm trying to change my opinion about animation. I think I'm doing really good. And
you are. I was surprised you were eager to watch it. I thought it was going to be a T. Crawler and me kind of.
I'm down.
T. Crawler and I.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really, really enjoyed it.
Yes.
So I know of this graphic novel. I know of the story. I've never actually read it though. So
do you want to know my first experience of this character?
Go for it.
Somebody came in and wanted a tattoo of his emblem, and I was like, "Wait, what? What is this thing? I have to do research. I don't even know what you're talking about." Yeah. So that was my first experience with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought this was really, really cool, and for the reasons like you said, like what would happen if Superman just wasn't raised by essentially the best people in the world that give him his strict sense of morality and all that. And in this movie, he's not like a terrible person. He's still very much doing what he believes is the right thing to do. He just has an entirely different ideology. Like he has an entirely different sense of what is right and what is wrong and like how those goals should go about being attained. And it is really interesting because he really still felt like Superman. He still felt like the same person, just raised in a totally different environment.
A complete different world point of view.
Yes.
He sees the world from a complete different angle.
And so that's what I thought was really cool about it, because I thought it was going to be a hardcore crazy dictator Superman, like almost kind of Injustice. But it wasn't that at all. No, he's still very much Superman, just from a completely different side of the coin. I also didn't know the story was going to span like decades and stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool. I thought so like Lex Luthor's in it and Lois Lane is in it. Batman's in it. Wonder Woman's in it. And they're all very different from where they are in their normal universe. And I thought their representations were all very well. Can't go into much without spoilers, but they were all very interesting. The story was really good. I was really into it. Like I really wanted to know what was going to happen, how things were going to play out. It was super interesting. It's a really, really fun Elseworld story to see how like one thing being different and kind of timeline also, but how the ripple effect changes everything. I thought that was really, really cool. So I feel like if you're interested at all in watching this, if you think this premise sounds interesting, I think the movie is definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Anything else before spoilers?
I think that's it.
There's nothing else you can really say. So Really, really like the movie. Right now, it's only available for purchase at the time of this recording, which I'm not like I dropped $20 on it. I'm not even mad. Like it was worth it.
I mean, man, I dropped $20 on it, and I'm not even mad. Also,
Yeah, I'm mad about dropping $16 on Birds of Prey. Still, that's never and Hellboy, and I can keep going. So I'm very mad about it. But yeah, and especially when it becomes a rental, $5.99 or whatever, definitely worth it. So check out Superman Red Son. This is your official spoiler alerts. There is some shit we want to talk about. Weapon 2, dive into spoilers.
Okay, there's some. Let's see. So, it starts out like you'd think. You got whatever his name is, his Russian name, running through a field, getting chased by a bunch of kids, saying they're going to break his skinny little legs and everything. And gets rescued by a girl, and you're like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "I didn't want to hurt him." So that
reveal was cool.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
So and he lifts the tractor, and you see that he's got his superpowers, and he says, "Yeah, they just started showing up here like recently."
I really liked how immediately she's like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! You got to be for the States."
Yes,
and I was like, "Is that how it really was? Was it real? What would a 12-year-old girl be like? Russia?
Well, communism is all about comrades and everything's for the state.
So that was legit.
Yes,
I don't remember the Cold War. I'm just saying.
That's kind of how the Soviets and so that's
it didn't lose me. I was just like,
Soviets,
holy crap.
Communism are kind of all about. It's all about the greater good. Everybody's and it's a dictatorship's a dictatorship.
Right.
There's a lot of brainwashing that goes on with
obviously,
that. So that happened, and then of course he becomes the Superman in Soviet Union. For me, it was weird. One point that I didn't catch until I watched it the second time tonight was that Lois Lane lies to Superman. Did you catch that? That
she lied to him?
She lies. So of course, Lex Luthor is just a rich guy full of himself. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the universe. And he's on the phone with the president of the United States and says he's going to drop a satellite on Metropolis. And so you can hear the president going, wait, no. Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
And then she's like, yeah.
She's in there when that's going on. Well, when he comes to visit her later on, she starts saying, "Oh yeah, so it sounds like you Soviets. The news says you guys
propaganda.
You guys sabotaged your own satellite
so
to crash into Metropolis." She knew that's not what happened.
Yeah, I totally caught this. That surprised you?
That she lied?
Yeah.
I guess a little bit.
Huh.
I guess a little bit. I wanted to see her as. I mean, I could see her giving away the secrets. Hey, don't you know you got people in gulags and stuff like this out here? But for me, her out and out lying about something that she knew where I mean, if Superman hadn't showed up, that would have killed millions of people.
Well, so I bought
thousands.
That because at this point she doesn't know him at all and is still very much buying into Lex Luthor, right? Which she does the whole time. But one thing that I really liked about the movie is throughout it, she does still have a connection with Superman, even to the point at the end where she sees that he's still there and isn't going to say anything. Like, they have a legitimate connection throughout the entire movie, which I still thought was pretty cool. Kind of like no matter where they are and like what different sides of the coin are, those two people are just intrinsically going to be drawn to each other. So I did like that, but her lying in the beginning didn't surprise me. No,
it did me a little bit. And you know what else I didn't need to hear? I did not need to hear her telling Jimmy Olsen about how great Lex Luthor is in bed. Sack. Yeah, I didn't need to hear that. Okay, come on, man. So, but for me, it was. What are the most interesting things in this to you? I could go down.
So I really liked the character representations. I liked that Batman was a little kid in this freaking essentially what was a concentration camp, and his parents died. And I love the line when he's just like, "I thought they say you could hear like a leaf fall from 1,000 miles away, but you didn't hear our screams." The second he turns around and is just fucking just mad dogging Superman, I was like, well, that's Batman. Like, holy crap, that's totally. But then
all the bats fly away from.
Well, I mean, it did. At that point, it spoon feeds it to you, but you don't need that. It's right. Totally, you could tell that's gonna be Batman. And then him growing up and just hating freaking Superman and just having this plan to take him down. And when he has like all the red sun lamps and just beats the shit out of him, and which goes to show that regardless of what friend of the show Kal-El says, doesn't matter what universe, Batman's always going to beat the shit out of Superman. Because he totally had him dead to rights.
Right. And here's the other
He
thing,
should have
though.
slit his commie throat. Like, I don't know why the fuck he didn't just murder him right there. Like, I was like, you're not going to kill him. He's going to have this elaborate plan to do some shit. And then he opens up this bunker. He's like, you're going to spend the rest of your days there. And I'm like, just slit his throat. Like, you can't, because then there's not a movie. But just kill him. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Well, yeah, he just didn't do that. But here's the other thing that I thought was interesting. So in our world of Batman wants to fight crime because his parents were killed by criminals.
Right.
In this, the state killed his parents in a gulag. So he becomes a terrorist against the government and the state because they killed his parents.
But it's because he holds Superman accountable for not saving him. Yes, he should be taking out Russia also.
Well, I think more than that, he holds the Soviet Union as a whole.
Right.
Stalin's the one who threw his parents
Right.
into this gulag. Superman didn't know anything about it.
I think Batman's down to take down communism after he just needs to take
he's
Superman
a
out
terrorist
first
against the Soviet Union.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. I also thoroughly enjoyed this representation of Wonder Woman. I thought that was really neat, seeing her be a little bit different and all that. So yeah, Batman. Well, he's a terrorist by like their standards because he wants to take down Superman. But I think ultimately you're right. His beef is with communism as a whole.
Right, and just so happens, spoiler alert, after so Superman confronts Stalin about
That
him
was one of my
throwing
favorite
people
parts.
in the gulag.
Yeah.
And so they're sitting there discussing it. Basically, Stalin's talking down to him a little bit about, hey, yeah, you just don't really understand how
You're
this
ignorant.
works. And he says one thing about what he says. He says, what you don't understand is sometimes some people have to die. And Superman goes, okay, yeah, I think I can buy into that. That's I understand where you're coming from. And then he uses his laser vision, his heat vision, to just melt holes straight through Stalin and just disintegrate.
So I love that. That was a holy shit moment for me. I didn't think that was going to happen. But I also liked how that sets up the character arc of Superman because, again, he believes what he's doing is right. And he believes what Stalin was doing was too extreme and, like, people shouldn't have to suffer for this vision or whatever. Fast forward decades down the line, he's having this exact same conversation with Wonder Woman saying, you don't understand and difficult decisions need to be made and, fucking thousands had to die, but I'm saving millions. Like, he's doing the exact same shit. Different.
And instead of putting people in gulags, he's like lobotomizing them or something with some kind of
making
a
them
robot
slaves.
thing.
And to him, I'm not killing or torturing them, so it's okay. And it's like, no, that's fucking terrible. Like, to the point where Batman just blows himself up like a baller instead of allowing that to happen to himself. Right. So it again, and this is what was a really interesting thing to see with the character is that he believes what he's doing is right. He believed that communism and like him protecting and all that was the right thing to do.
And it also shows that with Superman on that side is he still believes in their cause and what they're doing. Of course, he takes over South Korea. I mean, he within what, like 3 days or something or whatever. 3 hours.
3 hours.
3
Like,
hours.
He takes
3
it
hours.
over
He
quick.
takes over South Korea.
He takes down the Berlin Wall himself. Like,
so every kind of communist type thing, of course, he's there and he's furthering their cause because that's what he sees the world from.
That's to him it's right. So that was cool. I also liked how various times throughout history, Lex Luthor figures out ways to oppose him, including cloning Superman and then sending a Superior Man, freaking big USA version, to fight him. Yeah, that was super cool.
And the funny thing is, he had that thing planned from the time he wanted to drop that satellite on Metropolis because it was just to get his DNA from touching the satellite.
It was impressive. Yeah. Lex Luthor is a genius in this. I mean, he's always a genius. But that was also kind of a holy shit moment when he kept feeding Superior Man more juice, and he kept getting deformed and all. And the look of horror on Superman's face, like that was ridiculous. That was dark, like a lot darker than I thought the movie would go. I also like the Green Lantern ship crashing and him sending a fleet of Green Lanterns, including Hal Jordan. That other dude had to be Jon Stewart. I think Kyle Rayner was mentioned by name. Like, it leads you to believe
Gardner is
Gardner or whatever. So that led me to infer that those have to be all the Green Lanterns. You know what I mean? That we've had fight Superman. That was really cool. It was a really, really Brainiac was cool.
Think green thoughts.
Yeah, green thoughts, guys. And you know what's funny too, when Superior Man was like, USA, truth, just being like an over the top douchebag. I was just like, God, that's what we probably sound like, huh? Yeah, that's what we are to other people. But so like every alternate version of the character I thought was phenomenal. I thought Brainiac was really freaking good in the movie also. Essentially, I feel like
he played the smart long game too.
The long con. He was all about the long con. I feel like pretty much everything in this movie works. Like, I'm hard pressed to think about anything that didn't land for me. I was really surprised with how good it was.
So, I mean, when Brainiac shows up, he shrinks Stalingrad. Is that
what it was?
I think it's Stalingrad.
Yeah. Essentially,
it's one of those Russian towns. Yeah. But he shrinks it really small,
kind of like he does with was it Kendor?
Yeah. And it's in a jar, and so, but for whatever reason, either it's not dawning on Superman, or he really is what Brainiac said, and
he just didn't want to. He just didn't want to.
And so somehow when he goes to confront, because by the way, Lex Luthor becomes president of the United States.
What that happens in regular canon though?
Does it?
Yeah, he becomes president.
I completely lost that. I didn't see that one. But anyways, so when he's president of the United States, he the first lady, who's Lois Lane Luthor.
Yeah, I don't think that ever happens. I might be wrong there.
She comes out and gives the city back, and so Superman kind of goes, "Yeah, we're calling this off. Hey, stand down, Brainiac. Power down the weapons. We're going back." And he goes, "No, dude,
bro.
we're not gonna. Yeah. We're gonna kill these guys." Yeah. And he's like, "No, we're not." And then he blows up that whole city.
And then he says like, "No, like you never had control over me. Like this is what I was doing."
Yeah, that's what I was doing the whole time.
He's like, "This is my place." He's like, "Do you even call me, bro?" Like, "No, this is what we're doing." So and again, that was cool, and it transitioned and all of a sudden they had to team up to stop him, and
President Lex Luthor comes out in his super president armor to help fight.
Which again, the armor is a Lex Luthor thing. That's what he does. Yeah. So that was cool, and Superman flies Brainiac's exploding ship away. We think Superman dies. He doesn't. He allows. The end shot is Lois Lane seeing him in the crowd, and Superman's faked his own death, allowing democracy and all that to spread and everything. So it's kind of cool because we see the changes in Superman's belief system as this happens. Mm-hmm. Which again, it's interesting because it didn't change anything. Fundamentally, the core of the character I think was the same.
Right.
It was just he's born somewhere else and has a different set of beliefs. And that's cool to me because I really thought they were just going to change what made the character, and they really didn't. That's kind of why I think I like this so much. Yeah. Because it really just felt like, hey, what the fuck happened if he just landed somewhere else? We're not just rewriting him for the sake of doing it. So right. I really liked it. Anything else you want to touch on?
No, I mean you are right at that. He still wanted the best for the planet, his adopted planet Earth, and still wanted to do what he thought was right.
Right. Just his way of getting there was radically fucking different. So
yeah.
But I thought it was really, really good. Again, Red Sun, Superman, Red Sun, whatever it's called. I really liked it. I'm kind of happy I own it. I'll totally watch it again. So,
yeah.
Definitely check it out. Any closing thoughts?
No, it's great. Check it out. Buy it, rent it, watch it.
Do it however you can. And as always, thank you for joining us on this episode of the world's greatest news and reviews. If you've enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn the bell on for notifications.
Peace. I'm ready. Yeah.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews.
Or are we doing that right now?
What the fuck? What is
right.
What is I'm ready mean to you?
No, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay. What is so what? Instead of ready, what are we saying?
No. I just wasn't prepared. I was doing
that's
it.
Fine.
Okay,
that's fine. Okay, we're gonna go again.
All right. Yeah.
Are you ready?
Well, here, hold on, just a minute. Let me think. Okay. Here
okay.
We go. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Welcome everyone to another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews. Oh my god. Giving opinions about.
No, you're right. I'm okay. I'm ready.
Are you being funny on purpose?
No, I'm not trying to. Be
okay, because I don't know.
I'm really fucking up. Here we go.
That's fine. It's been a minute. It's fine.
Here we go.
Okay.
I just a new thing.
Yeah.
I just gotta get used to it.
Okay, we can do a few takes.
Okay, no, go for it.
All right. Welcome everyone to another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews.
Giving you opinions about nerd stuff is our superpower.
Yeah, see, and then it's weird if I'm just like, I am Captain Mal after that. The flow
different.
It's choppy. Well, it feels choppy.
So what do you want to do?
Welcome everyone to another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews. I'm Captain Mal.
Giving you opinions about nerd stuff is our superpower. I'm Weapon 2.
No, that sounds wrong. Welcome everyone to another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews. We're giving opinions about nerd stuff is our superpower. I'm Captain Mal.
And I'm Weapon 2. That was a great job.
I feel like that's the way to go for being
Super.
totally
That was a winner.
Okay, so we're gonna do that. Is it too much?
It sounds like it's a lot coming out of your
Uh
mouth.
oh.
Well, since when has that ever been a thing? Captain
I
Mal
mean, I
loves to
do
talk.
like talking.
He loves talking.
It's my second favorite activity next to looking at myself. Is it too much for an intro, though? Should we shorten it somehow? Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews.
Giving you opinions about nerd stuff is our superpower.
I'm Captain Mal.
And I'm Weapon 2.
Yeah, that's not that bad. Actually.
No, I like
it's
it
not-
already.
Yeah.
All we got to do is get used to it.
Yeah, it's just because it's different. That is better, because that's me talking a lot to start.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with it, but...
I'm fine with it too, but I'm a helper.
Okay, let's try.
I want to be helpful.
Again, let's try it for real this time. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, a real take. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews.
Giving you opinions about mother fuck.
Everybody. It's fine.
Okay, no.
Let's do it again.
Here we go.
Just so you know, this is probably going to be a post-credit scene.
Okay.